everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Crystal Murphy. I am the founder of the Tequila People, and I have Janna Lopez here. Hi, Janna.
Hi, I'm Janna Lopez. I am working with Crystal on the Tequila People and have been part of the Monterey Bay Tequila and Cuisine event for 10 years and an aficionado for quite some time, which is what we're here to talk about, our love of agave for Valentine's Day.
That's
We'll
right.
have to call it a new name. We'll have to call it like, we'll have to come up with something clever for that.
We do. Yes. We'll have to come up with something clever. I've heard of Galentine's, like that's kind of been the new thing, right? Where it's like,
right,
get together with your gals. And so I'm like, all right, we can do that. It's Galentine's Day today. So, hey, cheers to that. And our Galentine's is going to go like this. We're going to talk about our crushes. So it's not the typical crush that we typically talk about. Today, we're going to talk about our agave crushes. So we've never talked about this, Janna, so this is exciting. I want to learn from you right now, my friends. We've known each other for almost a decade, so let's talk about our agave crushes. So I want to know, what was it like for you with your first agave crush? Because I know we've all have that story, right? The not so proud or exciting story of our first time when it came to tequila. And it could have been a bad experience for many of us, not everybody, but for many. So we're going to save that story for another time. Right now, I want to talk about our crush. What was it? And when was that time where we were properly introduced to tequila? We had our first sip and we were like crushing hard. And then everything changed for us right at that moment. So tell the people, what was that time for you? Take us back.
Well, I'm going to preface this by saying you might as well be looking in my 13-year-old diary because it's just as embarrassing.
Is it just
what I know now? Knowing what I know now, I am so like cringing even to admit it. However, so many of you out there probably have had a similar experience or like can relate to the fact that your first crush was not your finest hour, but it did teach you something and it did lead you to something. So
yes,
I, like many people, I think my first agave crush, I'm going to have to go with Patron. Mm-hmm. And the reason why is because there was something about the bottle and the green box and the presentation, and it was a whole thing. And I remember going to Las Vegas with some friends and we were like going to try to whoop it up and get something classy. So we got a bottle of Patron. And I remember the difference in this crush was that I wanted to be with it and take care of it and enjoy it. It wasn't the functionality of getting drunk.
Yeah.
That's when it became a moment of intimate sipping and getting to know.
Okay.
The Patron Blanco, because that's when I learned you can sip it. You didn't have to shoot it. And I think that's when I started crushing hard going, this is different. And of course, I hate the word, we all use it. It was smooth.
It was a smooth operator. You with your girlfriends or was it like a night out? What was the environment like?
It was, I had a sequin dress that probably barely, covered right above the thigh, and I had boots on and my hair was all wild and it was a whole thing. And I think for the four of us that were there, drinking and sipping before we were going to go out, all the anticipation was in the air, all that electricity of maybe having a good time, going dancing, being free, being young, and really just feeling sophisticated. I think that's what sipping on Patron, I felt sophisticated. I felt grown up. I felt like I wasn't inside of a secret that not everybody else knew, and that I could go into a bar and I could order a tequila and be somebody.
I love it.
Yeah. Yes. There's a whole thing around it.
Yeah. Like that inner diva came out, that inner, you channeled into a whole nother persona, and we're crushing hard then with the Patron.
I know. Listen, I call it the
That's
gateway
awesome.
tequila. We all have one,
We
but
all have one. Absolutely. And yeah, my first experience was one I am also not proud of, that we'll talk about another time. But as far as the crush goes, I was, taken under the wings of somebody else, and they knew that I wanted to learn more, and this was over 10 years ago. So I was invited to someone's house, and as soon as I arrived, I noticed the environment was completely different, because this was my first proper tasting, and there were flutes on a table, there was cheese and crackers, and I'm like, what am I walking into? This looks beautiful and amazing. I couldn't wait to get started. And so I tasted Chinaco and Siete Leguas.
oh my God, your
Okay.
first crush was an
Not
awesome.
not
High
like
five you
horrible,
for that
right?
one. Yes.
Well, it wasn't my doing. I walked into this, so I was pleasantly surprised, and of course my palate was as well. I was just like, what is this? Because I have not experienced tequila like this before. So I was crushing pretty hard with Chinaco. Yeah, I was like, okay, what's all the buzz about, when it comes to tequila tasting and tequila in general. And so I was buzzing.
What
I
I
was
love about that
crushing.
story is that that's so still who you are, with wanting to make it an event and a celebration, and to have the food and the glasses and to have everything prepared. And you and I both know like how fortunate you were to have somebody present tequila to you in that
Yeah.
way. And you and I both go out in the world and we give people their first crushes and we ruin them for life. We give them Fortaleza, G4,
Oh yeah.
El Tesoro. So we go all, and Ocho. So we go all out and make sure we present some of the best. And what a
Yeah.
way to learn.
What a way to learn, right? So that was I had two. All right. I didn't have one. I had two crushes. And that was it for me. After that, it was like, okay, I want to have more crushes. I want to try more,
Yeah,
more.
I
And
had
that was
that
it.
same experience, because once you try it, then you're like, okay, I want to see what else was out there. And I got really excited, and I would go to liquor stores and I would just pick things on the shelf and try,
Yeah.
and just start sipping and just start experimenting. And that you don't forget your first crush, but the first crush definitely opened up the love.
Yes, absolutely. That love of agave that we talk about so much, that we are a part of. And it was an exciting time. Like I'll never forget, right? You never forget your first crush. I'll never forget that day ever.
No, it's
And
true.
yeah, and then now, like you said, we've gone out, we've tried things. We have, for me, being able to order for myself, right? Because my husband always, what do you want to sip? What do you want to drink? And I'm like, you pick for me, whatever. I'm good with whatever. But now I'm very particular, and I can go out and do it myself. And it's very empowering just to know what you like, and what you crush on. Like there's something very special and empowering about that. And I love this topic, this story. I mean, we can probably go on and on about other crushes we've had along the way, but this has been so much fun. We have to do this again.
Yes, definitely. And I want to say, for anybody out there who's just beginning their journey and doesn't know where to look and doesn't know where to begin and has so many possibilities before them, enjoy the crushes as they happen. Be open. Don't be embarrassed. It's okay. We've
Yeah.
all been there, and we've all had that story. And remember, the crush does turn into love for sure.
Yes, it does. From lust to love. All right, Janna. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story with me. That was fun.
Yes.
I have this whole new view of you and Patron in Las Vegas. So, hey, you know what? It's all good, my friend.
It was definitely good. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for it.
Absolutely.
It led me on a really
We'll
beautiful
never change
path.
it.
Right.
We'll never change it in the world.
Nope.
So we will do this again soon. And thanks so much for again sharing your story with us. And happy Galentine's Day to you.
Happy Valentine's Day to everybody out there. We are the Tequila people, and we wish you nothing but love and agave.
That's right. Salud.
Salute.